Men and Women Beware, Part 3. Men and Women Beware, Part 3. What's up, everybody? My name is Kier, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Today, we're talking about Men and Women Beware, Part 3. Before we get into it, would you please like? Would you please share? Would you please subscribe? Would you please subscribe? Would you please subscribe? I guarantee you, if you subscribe to my channel, you will have access to information that can potentially save you thousands upon thousands of dollars and save you a whole lot of pain and suffering. And this is one of those videos that can possibly potentially save you thousands upon thousands of dollars and also save you a whole lot of pain and suffering. And so one of the things I want to go into this Men and Women Beware Part 3, one of the things I want to say for women to be careful about, which is extremely, extremely important for you to be careful about, is that, ladies, get rid of the women, of your girlfriends that act like HOEs, okay? Get rid of the women that will try to persuade you to act like HOEs, okay? Because if you don't get rid of those type of girlfriends of yours that will try to keep you in the street, that will try to get you to act like a HOE like them, those type of ladies are going to drag you down. Those type of ladies are going to drag you down and could possibly get you infected with some STD because you were just hanging with them. Matter of fact, it just comes to mind. Wow, it just popped in my head. This is a very, very good point. First of all, I'm going to say fair use, fair use, fair use. I had a female friend of mine, and she was a model. And she was telling me she was going around the country. So this particular event had went to this particular large major city. And when she got to this large major city, one of her girlfriends, it's always some goddamn girlfriend, it's always some damn girlfriend. Anyway, one of her girlfriends like, hey, when this particular event had came into town at this particular place down south, she had told me that one of her girlfriends had persuaded her to go to one of these parties. She didn't know what type of party it was. She just thought it was just a regular party that she was going to. Well, anyway, she didn't realize that her girlfriend at the time, I don't know why you would not realize this or not, but anyway, her girlfriend at the time basically was a HOE, okay? So her HOE girlfriend pulled her, said, come on, let's go to this party. Well, she's out of town. She don't know what's going on. And so, once again, fair use, fair use. Girlfriend got into a car, and they drove out to where this party was going to be at. She didn't know what type of party. She thought it was just a regular party. It wasn't a regular party. It was one of those parties, okay? If you know what I mean. One of those parties. I'm going to tell you about what type of one of those parties are when we continue on. Well, anyway, she said they drive way out in the deep woods somewhere. She don't know where she at. She's in some southern state. She's way deep out in the woods. She don't know where she at. And she sat up and told me, she was like, here. I was like, what? She's like, I didn't know where I was at. They kept driving and driving and driving. They ended up in some place out way deep out in the woods. And so I'm like, dang, are you serious? She said, yeah. So it was a party out there. Well, it was one of those parties. Well, what I mean by one of those parties, when she got out there, it was one of those parties where everybody and daddy was screwing around with everybody and daddy. Everybody and mama was screwing around with everybody and mama. Everybody was screwing around with everybody. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. She told me, Kier, what was I supposed to do? She said, I didn't know where I was at. She said, if I complained about why do you got me way out here at this type of party, they could have deleted her. I'm like, well, I guess, yeah. I was like, well, yeah, somebody could have deleted you out there. You didn't know where you were. They can put you. So she was telling me she pretty much was put in a position by her girlfriend to go to this party. She didn't know it was one of those type of parties. She said she ended up having to screw around with folks too, just like everybody was screwing around with everybody, butt naked. Wherever it was at, whether it was on the floor, whether it was on the table, or wherever it was at, everybody was screwing around with everybody. I'm like, dang, are you serious? She's like, yeah. She's like, she basically said she had to participate because she didn't want to come up missing. So I'm like, well, I mean, you didn't want to be sitting back over in the corner somewhere saying I'm not going to participate. Yeah, I mean, she could have disappeared and nobody never know where she was, where she was. So I'm like, yeah, that's messed up. So what is the point that I'm making, ladies? What is the point that I'm making, ladies and men too? I'm going to get to you men in a second. The point that I'm making is, ladies, your female friends that are HOEs, and you know who they are, you need to get rid of those people. Just like this situation happened to a female friend of mine who was a model, just like she got pulled into that because of her HOE girlfriend. Men, same situation for you. You got guys that's just out there, and you know which type of guys I'm talking about, them Pookies and Ray Rays and them people. Their whole goal of life is who they gonna screw today. They're gonna screw this person today, they're gonna screw somebody else today, they're gonna screw somebody else another day. Okay? Men, you need to get rid of those type of men out of your life, because they're gonna lead you down the wrong path. And instead of you concentrating on being more and more successful, you're gonna be concentrating on chasing women, which is gonna be a big, humongous waste of time. I had a brother sit up and tell me, he pulled me aside, he told me, he said, man, he made that mistake. He was supposed to start his business 10 years earlier. And because he was so busy chasing after women and spending money on women and spending money on hotel rooms and spending money at the bars and at the clubs and all that, he said he held his own business up for 10 years because he was too busy chasing after women. This is what I'm talking about. Men and women, beware. But what also happens when you're chasing after women, or the women are chasing after men, you know what ends up happening? Diseases. Transmitted diseases. Now, the friend of mine who was a model that got pulled into this party with one of her HOE girlfriends, she could have picked up a disease from any one of the people at that party. Could have. And could be walking around with HIV. I don't think she did, because I don't know if she would tell me. But anyway, and they don't tell me how many diseases she may have picked up. Okay, same thing for the men. Men, you cannot. Some of your boys always want to have you out at the strip club. Some of your boys that every time you turn around, they got you at a strip club, and they trying to get you. You got a good, successful relationship with a good woman at home, and they trying to get you to screw around on her. You need to get rid of them. Get rid of your boys that act like HOEs. Get rid of them, because they're gonna cause you problem in your own relationship. They're gonna keep you in the street when they know it's gonna cause you problems at home with your woman. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the more you hang around these type of guys, especially in the strip club, the more you're gonna come in contact with ladies that got STDs, okay, especially at the strip club. Follow me. Strippers is equal to streetwalkers, okay? Some people may sit up here and say, I disagree. No, you can say you disagree all you want. All you gotta do is go to a strip club and look in the parking lot. You might see some woman's head going up and down like this, and you know what she's doing in the car to one of the customers, okay? Men, keep this in mind. There was a number of years ago, there was a strip club that got shut down in the Metro Detroit area. Got shut down in the Metro Detroit area. Why did the strip club get shut down in the Metro Detroit area? Because the health department went into the strip club and tested every single solitary one of the women in the strip club. Guess what happened? The health department had determined that 100% of the women in the strip club had HIV. All of them. Did you hear me? All the women in the strip club had HIV. Health department shut that strip club down. A woman sat up here and told me, I think she may have been a stripper because this woman was built. The woman that was telling me about this story told me it was so bad, it made the television news. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? She said, yeah. You didn't see the news the other day? I'm like, no, I didn't see it. Health department shut that club down. They only shut the club down for like a month and a half or 2 months. Because I drove past, because I used to have to drive past that place on the way to work in the morning and when I would get off at work. That place was back up and running in 2 months. So you gonna tell me all those women? You gonna tell me that all those women left the club? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. If they did leave the club, all they did was go over to other clubs with their HIV. And also let you know too, how do all the women in a strip club get HIV? They all get it, 100% of them got it, because they were screwing around with each other. They were screwing around with customers, and they were screwing around with each other. That's how 100% of them got it. You go in there, you screw around with a woman that's absolutely gorgeous. She might have full-blown HIV, or she might have AIDS. Did you hear what I just said? I had a friend of mine told me he went to a meeting. The meeting that he went to was next door to a AIDS HIV support group meeting. Did you hear me? He said, man, you ought to see these women that's coming out of this meeting. I said, what meeting is that? He said, the AIDS HIV support group meeting. He said, these women are gorgeous, gorgeous. He said, you know they strippers. You look at them, see all these tattoos on them. He's like, you know they strippers. Full-blown AIDS, HIV. I'm like, God, dog, are you serious, man? He's like, yeah, man, I ain't playing. He's like, I'm standing right next to watching the women coming out of the meeting. I'm like, dang, man. So you still sit up here thinking you got some fine-ass woman, and yeah, you think you getting something. Yeah, you getting something all right. Yeah, you getting something all right. HIV, AIDS, okay? All right, please like, please share, please subscribe. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and peace.